Good morning, everyone. It is Mo from Mo in the Deep End. And some days when I am looking through stories, I don't realize that I have unintentionally picked out a theme or the news has conspired to give me a theme. But today's theme is chicks. What in the world? So, good morning, Eris. Good morning, Wolfram. And thank you, Eris, for both being yourself and doing all the Modly stuff. Good morning, Little Peanut, and making law simple. And JKD Bug. So, our first story, this convincing, look, as someone who dresses up as people for my tax deductible hobby, this gentleman, 26-year-old. Look, I am already going to preface this with names and dates and places will be butchered in this story. uh, but boyfriend is busted for dressing in drag to take career exam for his girlfriend. Now, I didn't know that we could say such things on the internets today. So, YouTube, if you get pissed off at me, the New York Times wrote this, and I would like a refund if you get mad at me. Fry is making sure that the girls get off to school okay, which is always good. Yeah, Fry managed to steal my baby off of my bed, and now it is his. It's one of those giant cat pillows that were all the rage last Christmas. So, you know, I had to get two or three for all the children's. And one of the children's decided they didn't like it, so I inherited it, and now I guess it's Fry's. Was he taking the ACT or acting class? Though copying someone else's test answers is frowned upon, this may be taking that whole escapade to the extreme. A 26-year-old man named Agrees Singh has been arrested after allegedly masquerading as his girlfriend so he could take an exam in her stead, as seen in photographs blowing up online. I mean, look, sir, you have beautiful lips, and I think you did a great job on the eyeshadow. I don't know about the beanie cap, but there are, this is a wig from Timu. I mean, you could have put a little bit more effort in the hair. Quote, he tried to enter the examination hall by changing his appearance. The police spokesperson, Manjoy Kumar, told Jam Press of Soulmate Cosplay. Singh had attempted to take a recruitment test for his girlfriend, Parmjeet Karar, 34, at the DAV public school in an area in India. Earlier this month, the Indian Express reported Kajar had reportedly previously failed the exam, a prerequisite to become a healthcare worker. Well, as long as it's not an important exam for something that, involves, healthcare or anything. Wait, what? Well, as long as she's not going to become a nurse or something. Maybe it's just an aviation specialist. Does she want to work at the TWA? To deceive officials, the undercover lover shaved his facial hair, applied makeup, and got gussied up in women's clothing before entering the exam room. So this is him and this is her. I would like to point out a couple things. She has no lips. He has beautiful lips. Sir, I'm not saying anything, but you needed to underline your lips. Thin eyebrows, full eyebrows. Square jaw, not square jaw. 5 o'clock shadow, not 5 o'clock shadow. Man hands, not man hands. I mean, the casual observer might not have known these things. The meticulous impersonator even went so far as to forge his girlfriend's voter ID card, voter card ID card, and Aadhaar card, a 12-digit unique identity number, to make the illusion ironclad. Buzz, your girlfriend, woof. Look, sir, there's a lot of yeah, no, just be casual about it. I do like the kind of look like he's going to call the manager of the test over. When in doubt, become a Karen. No, yeah, she's definitely no difference, not even if you squint. Exam officials reportedly grew suspicious after he stood up and went to the men's room. No, I'm just kidding. After noticing his face didn't match the picture of Carr on the application form, according to Police Superintendent Harjeet Singh. Authorities subsequently ran Singh's biometric and discovered that they didn't match the ones kept on records. You mean his girlfriend wasn't 6'2" and 250 pounds? Giblets. The con artist was subsequently arrested for his bizarre cheating tactic. Police also accused Carr of conspiring with her boyfriend, as they believe he wouldn't have been able to enact the deception without her consent and possible assistance. Yeah, how would he know if he was an autumn or a spring? I mean, how would he know if this mauve would match his skin tone? Oh, for the love of Cheetos. The couple are currently facing multiple charges, while police have since launched an investigation into how Singh managed to forge documents. JKD Buck, you have won the internet today with that comment. I will be packaging it up. I wouldn't open any black boxes from that dark corner of the dark underworld of the internet, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not your mom, but, you know, it's a risk one would take. Good morning, Rossman Ranch and Squab Bob and Wolfram and Eric. Oh, no, no. Hey, Brock, no. No. Okay. Well, hey, we don't do that to Cat Pillow and on live air. How about no? Wait, 1 second. Okay. Well, I guess someone's not going to have his niblets for long. Ah. Fry is like, but is my friend, and I love him. Oh, my shirt says, I like my books spicy and my coffee icy. And then the books are smut, vampires, and more smut. Do you know that I have gotten head shakes by older men from this shirt? It is from Hippie Runner online. Ultimately, the authorities deemed the bizarre case an example of people doing anything for love. A man can take such risk only for his girlfriend, a police officer said. I mean, maybe for a wife. I don't know. I don't know if I, risk an Indian prison for a girlfriend. Fry's like, I was having fun. And you said no. So now I just annoy you. You know what? Women need to face some damn consequences time. And I say this as a woman with the boobular region and, having a uterus and all of this other. No, you're not getting gum, sir. You are not a people. I know you think you are a people. Oh, yes, he is big mad. He is like, I was going to hump something else. You just wait, mommy. I is going to be annoying now. California woman who fatally stabbed boyfriend 108 times receives probation and community service. Are you flippin' kidding me? Y'all, I am about done and tired of has boobs, gets time served. Look, I get that she says that she was in a cannabis-induced psychosis. I get that. So we'll read the article, but no. The California woman who was convicted of unaliving her boyfriend by stabbing him 108 times during a cannabis-induced psychosis received a slap on the wrist Tuesday. Bryn Speecher, 33, was sentenced to 2 years probation and was ordered to perform 100 hours of community service. Well, how about, I mean, there you go. It's almost like she just ran a red light. It's like she got a do-over, in a video game. She just got plunked back at the start point that she saved on her Sega Genesis. Wonderful. I guess it is a very humpable toy. I will have to I will have to find him a non-humpable toy. That's the first time he's tried to he's tried that with Thor, but not with an adamant object. Good morning, my Mini 67. So her new boyfriend, Chad O'Melia, was the victim. Ventura County Superior Court Judge David Worley ruled that Sprecher had no control over her actions when she entered a psychotic episode and, repeatedly stabulated O'Melia, 26, repeatedly in his apartment on May 28, 2018. Experts for the prosecution and defense both found that the devil's lettuce hit given to Sprecher threw the woman into a deadly psychotic episode. Okay, this is not reefer madness. What was in that? Because no, this is ridiculous. I am not buying this at all. And even so, this is called negligent homicide. She still decided to take that into her system. There was a choice to imbibe that into her system. I do believe that that's considered, I don't think that you're allowed to, as a non-lawyer, don't take any of this as legal advice. But listen, I'm pretty sure that if you voluntarily take something in that turns you a little bit nutso, you are not allowed to say that, you were out of your, gourd. Yeah, in Florida, okay, maybe it's state by state, but I do know in certain states, if you imbibe an intoxicant that puts you in a delirious state, that's not considered. I don't know. We'll have to read further because this one just irritated the crud out of me. From that point forward, she had no control over her actions, Worley said, according to the outlet. Sprecher and O'Melia had been seeing each other for a few weeks before she unalived the 26-year-old accountant. After she unalived O'Melia, law enforcement found the woman covered in blood, hysterically crying next to her boyfriend's body, still gripping the weapon. She then used the weapon to cut herself when police attempted to disarm her. Sprecher, who turned 33 last Thursday, also stabbed a dog. No. O'Melia was pronounced not alive at the scene. Sprecher's lawyers have argued that their client, who was inexperienced at the devil's lettuce, became involuntarily intoxicated at the time of unaliving O'Melia and pressed her to take another dose of the devil's grass. And after not getting the buzz off the first hit, the outlet reported, oh, so it's his fault. Well, of course. Ugh. I cannot believe they were trying to make it his fault. I mean, I can, but why am I? My shock. The side-eye, ma'am, I hope you're getting it over the internet. She had an immediate adverse reaction to the second hit, had to go to the bathroom in a panic before carrying out the unaliving. Under California law, a person is seen as responsible for their actions when impaired by intoxicants or alcohol, unless their intoxication is involuntary. So they're saying that him asking her to take a second dose was, him forcing her. I cannot. Jurors took less than 4 hours to find Sprecher guilty of involuntary manslaughter, as they should. During Tuesday's sentencing, Sprecher sobbed in court as she apologized to the father of the victim, Sean O'Melia. My actions have ripped your family apart. Ma'am, I have 2 words for you. Civil liability. You better be ready to pay half of your paycheck for the rest of your life to this family. Because what just happened here is not justice, and your boobs aren't going to save you in civil court. She said, according to the outlet, I'm broken and aching inside. I hurt that you will never see Chad again. Sprecher, who was painted by the prosecution as a party girl who just wanted to get buzzed the night she unalived O'Melia, was portrayed in a different light by her father during the sentencing hearing. Of course he would. Again, the lenses through which you see a person would be different for a father, of course. She has worked her whole life helping others, said Mike Sprecher, who also made a note of his daughter's hearing impairment and her work as a licensed audiologist before the unaliving. Chad O'Melia's father, Sean, accused Worley of being biased and claiming, following his ruling, that the judge set a dangerous precedent. Quote, he gave everyone in the state of California who smokes the devil's lettuce a license to unalive someone, the grieving father said. There's no winner in this tragedy, said Brennan O'Melia, the victim's uncle. There can, however, be accountability. Sprecher's lawyer, Bob Schwartz, called Worley's ruling against his client right and courageous. No. Not one damn thing. What the hell does our hearing impairment have to do with her smoking the lettuce and unaliving someone? Not one dang thing. That's what it has to do. Why? Nothing. Not one dang thing. And she better be ready for civil consequences. And the father is right. I mean, with this judge's ruling, they can cite the other lawyers can cite this case saying, hey, my client was just, a little bit intoxicated. It was reefer madness. I just, look, you can do amazing, wonderful, great things your entire life, but you make one dumb choice and you can erase all that with 1 second of stupid. I have this conversation almost weekly with my girls, with my girls that are going into teenhood, because I want them to understand with certain, privileges like driving or having a not boyfriend, you know, you can have, I can be proud of you right now, and you are turning into a responsible for the, oh no, it's a toothbrush, atheist aunt. He stole one. You can be a responsible, well-meaning adult, but you drive and you text and you run into someone, you drive and you don't pay attention, do a dumb, and you can erase all of that, and then you have to, work for redemption. So, before you do a dumb, think about things. Fry's like, I hope this is your toothbrush. You not let me hump a pillow. It's an extra toothbrush. I buy bulk packs of toothbrushes because once someone gets strep throat, everyone's got to throw out their toothbrush. Hello, giraffe girl, gal, and no, you are being obnoxious. I know it's raining outside. I know you're a princess and you don't want to go outside in the rain, but you have to. And what more does this woman want? Amy Robach cries over how emotionally removed TJ Holmes has been from their relationship. Heifer, the dude like went out with you, cheated on his spouse, you cheated on your spouse, you both got fired. Like he moved in with you. What the bleep else do you want from this dude? For the love of all that is holy, ma'am, I'm with this dude. He done gave up all the rest for you. For the love of Cheetos, chicks, I tell ya. Can't win 'em, can't lose. You leave your ex-wife and her ex-husband start shacking up too. The weirdest damn thing. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes' relationship isn't perfect, but unlike the average couple, they have a public platform to address their issues. Oh, dear God. It's like Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith have... This is their new form. It's like a Pokemon evolution. And it's... I don't want it. No, don't get a... Oh, God, they have a podcast. I may have to roast the hell out of this, but I don't know if I could last through an entire one of them without drinking heavily. Note to self, I am writing this down, but I may not be able to handle this without copious amount of booze. During Tuesday, January 23rd's episode of their Amy and TJ podcast, Holmes 46 and Robach 50. Look, and he is even dating you even though you are older. Ma'am, I don't know what you want from him. Asked Robach to have a conversation in their apartment following a disagreement. Robach admitted she's experiencing new challenges when it comes to mixing their personal and professional lives. You are spilling all of your tea on the internet. Have fun with that. I wish you well and Godspeed. I've always been fully confident in our ability to work together on television or in a broadcast capacity. What I haven't done as much in my career is be responsible for content, booking, ratings, and the pressure of all the things that has consumed us both. Oh, you mean maybe you shouldn't have slept around and gotten caught and then gotten fired? Seems like actions, consequences. She explained, we've always been able to work together and enjoy that profusely, then enjoy our free time. Damn work. But the last few days, we're spending hours and hours side by side working on things. I hear a violin. No, it's just her bitching. Robach said the way she and Holmes each approached their tasks contributed to the problem, added, we work differently, and we've ended up doing things. What we've ended up doing is sitting in silence for hours next to each other, and it's exhausting. It's called real life. What you two were doing is relation dateship play acting. Y'all were having a fantasy honeymoon time. And now you're having what is called real life. See, you didn't realize the 80-20 rule. Y'all should have watched yourself some Why Did I Get Married? Because then you would have realized the 80-20 rule does exist. And I will go ahead and explain-orate it to you. It's the 80-20 rule. And now I have a smallish one. So let me see if I can find a... Roberto, I love you, but you are right in my way because you are trying to assassinate me because I took away your humping pillow. So when you are in a marriage, you'll probably get, on a good side, 80% of your needs met. Okay? Now, look. So you might see someone who can offer you that 20%, and that 20% is going to look really, really good. But if you go to that person that'll give you that 20%, you are leaving that 80% behind. It's a very simple concept. But what you did was you took that and you thought that that 20% was going to fill you up like the 80%. It does not. So don't be a dum-dum. Work on your marriage first. Now, if your marriage is, if you are married to a total douche canoe, I understand. But I'm going to guess that Andrew Shue is not a douche canoe. All right, thank you, Sarah Adams. Let me get that up for you. And Fry, stop eating my taggy things. I don't know if you've just started your terrible teens, but you have been a kind of jerk face here lately, sir. He's like, well, you won't let me hump things. I am as God made me. He's like, give me back the cat pillow or things will happen. So the conversation took an emotional turn after she took all that time to whine and cry. When Robot started to cry about the distance between them, I felt extremely disconnected from you, and I'm someone who does want and needs physical touch, words of affirmation, and communication. Now, I will say all of this would be a great thing for them to have a talk about, and communication like this, telling your partner what you need, what makes you feel loved, is all a really good thing to have happen. Now, to have this conversation in front of everyone on a podcast where you're basically ambushing a dude who has given up a whole hell of a lot, I find disingenuous, gross, and kind of emotional ambushy, to the point of you are the new Jada Pinkett Smith. Light. Okay, you're light. You're like the Episcopalian Jada Pinkett Smith. But still, Holmes attempted to understand Robot's perspective. Look, sir, I am a chick and I don't understand my perspective half the time. Explaining his decision to record their talk. Oh, God, no. You're dumb. Really, Fry? Do you have something to add? He's like, he is dumb. You not record this stuff. It was a tarp. It was a trap, Admiral Akbar. Explaining his decision to record their talk, he confessed to feeling like a fraud for not showing listeners how the pair address their obstacles. Know what you both are attention whores. After Holmes asked Roebuck whether she felt pressure about dating in public eye, she clarified that her concerns were mostly about their careers. I don't feel the pressure from the public to stay with you, she shared. Well, isn't that special? But I feel the pressure of our careers that I believe were unfairly taken from us. Ma'am, this is not the social justice movement that anyone is going to get behind. You two knocked naughty bits. This is not the social justice anyone is going to get behind. The former Good Morning America 3 co-anchors made headlines with their relationship in November 2022 after they were caught getting cozy outside the office while still married to other people. Roebuck subsequently went through a divorce from Andrew Shue after more than a decade of marriage, and Holmes ended his marriage to Marilee Fiebig. The couple were subsequently taken off the air as ABC began an investigation before their exits were officially announced in January 2023. Despite the backlash surrounding their romance, no, you two cannot have it both ways. If you two were on the, hashtag me too, pound me too kind of movement, then, this shenanigans between coworkers, no. It's a zero tolerance kind of thing. So I know that I know that I know you well enough and I've spent enough time with you and I know how I felt, she continued on Tuesday. What the hell does that sentence mean? Ma'am, you used to speak on television. You should be clear. And love sometimes is a choice. When it's hard, it's not just a feeling. Lust is a feeling, but love is a choice, I believe I've chosen. Okay, I can't read this anymore. This is gross. Hopefully, when they make the Hallmark Lifetime movie, it'll have more, or the horror movie, it'll have more fun stuff in it. I don't know. Good Lord. Of all the dumb things to do, look, I have a very low tolerance for cheaters. I have a very low tolerance for people who are who make themselves a victim when they chose to do some choice, deal with the consequences. Also, don't be don't put this stuff on the internet. If you want to talk about how this would be a good way to talk to your partner, yes. But to emotionally ambush a person, you know, it reads to me gross and disgusting. And these are conversations that need to be had in private so both people can feel vulnerable and express things. Not everything. I know this is going to be a shock. Again, a little hypocritical coming from me, but some things are not meant to be on the internet. The interwebs doesn't need to know everything about us. That's what our Apple Watches are for. I'm going to go ahead and say must miss TV. I'm not a big bug person, but apparently we're going to get a real Bug's Life is a live action version of a Pixar movie and it could change minds. Nope. When there are cooler animals, how do you get people to care about bugs? As we learned on location in Tanzania, you use cutting edge tech to give the critters a Pixar spin. Still no. All right, I will just be saying Tanzania. Scaling the walls of Tanzania's Ngorongoro crater is among the few terrestrial experiences we have that feel akin to ascending heaven or some higher plane. The one would hope that when he does meet St. Peter at the pearly gates, he will not be out of breath and will be much less sweaty. It depends on some of us. Look, I'm aiming for purgatory. I might have to climb a bit. 2,000 feet below, on the floor of the volcanic caldera, is one of the most unique ecosystems in the world. Elephants, zebras, lions, wildebeest, rhinos, hippos, flamingos, hyenas. The crater's walls create a distinctly protected habitat among the Serengeti Plains. Spend some time in the region before visiting the area, and you can't help but compare the area to, well, an animal spa. Hiking up to the top of the rim, the knowledge that the wildlife is not just below, but all around you, fuels you with adrenaline. Yeah, the thought that little critters are all around me generally doesn't. Look, I may be a whole lot of a Sheldon, like, there are bugs around. I'll be staying home. Along the dense foliage and trees surrounding us, there are wildebeest mingling with elephants descending down into a crater in physics-defying parade. My human-sized body can barely stay upright on the steep incline. In fact, the hike is so exposed that our guide, Arthur, who insisted on being called King Arthur, carried a force multiplier long style to protect us in case we were encountering an aggressive animal. I hope you had a larger than a 22. I was not reassured by his response on whether he had to use it. We are walking not just toward the clouds, but above the cloud. Are you going to get to the bugs? Holy crap, dude. I understand you're writing like a freaking, for the love of all that is holy, sir. You are writing a damn book. Okay. Where do you get to the bugs? Okay. Then, right before our very eyes was a ball of poo. Look, life is like that sometimes. Elephant poo, to be exact, and oh my god, on top of it, there she was, a real-life dung beetle in all of her excrement-eating glory. Yep, this is gonna make a great kids show. It shows politicians in their natural habitat. Come at me, DeSantis. We were journalists and National Geographic filmmakers on a trip to the Serengeti to report on and learn about a suite of series that aim to expose new interest and new audience for wildlife programming through cutting-edge technology and brazen thwarting of staid traditional style that has long bored sought-after demographics and fostered antiquated norms. Oh, for the love of God, they're going to make antiquated norms that when it comes to gender, race, age, perspective. These series hope to bring vital nature storytelling to a modern age of entertainment. Must miss TV. How are you going to make a bug non-binary? Look, you have the best storylines in the praying mantis. I mean, she, does the deed and then generally eats the dude. I mean, that's a hilarious storyline that I think would bring new perspective and hilarity to everything. But no, how in the world are we among these groundbreaking projects, believe it or not, is A Real Bug's Life. Okay, this is 17 paragraphs down. You have to get to the real story, for the love of all that is holy. Once you see the series, specifically the episode of Land of Giants set in the region we're exploring, you'll understand why this teeny beetle on a smelly sphere of elephant dung was akin to a major celebrity sighting. A few days before the encounter, we screened the episode and spoke with producer Bill Markham, who implored us to keep an eye out for the littlest critters while we were out on safari. Forget the lions and the elephants. Of course, the goal of A Real Bug's Life isn't to entirely ignore the majestic... Okay, so basically they're just... Oh, God. They're going to have Awkwafina narrate this crap. No, I can't do this. Y'all, I generally don't give you all recommendations, but miss this. I had been exposed to whatever the guy, Lin-Manuel Maurice, or whatever his name is, what he did to the Little Mermaid movie and that song he gave to Awkwafina. If you want something to remove unwanted guests from your house or other things, play that Awkwafina song, What's the Scuttlebutt? It will not only push you into a higher level of insanity, but it will remove all unwanted pests from your house. Each episode assigns personalities, story arcs, larger than life stakes, even senses of humor, so that each insect becomes its own singular character, one that you can imagine voiced by a charismatic star in a Pixar movie, or in this case, have their lives narrated by gregarious sarcasm by Awkwafina. Lord save us all. New camera and editing technology allows the filmmaking technology or process to shrink down to bug scale. It's a world-building technique that allows us to see the day through these characters' eyes. No, God, please don't. No. No, no. So I say, must miss TV. Don't. Just don't. In news that'll make you, well, rage. Woman stabbed and raped on rose-laden walking trail by man released early for grape conviction. Our justice system. Woman stabulates her boyfriend. Not her fault. She's a lady. This guy. Let's see why he was released early. An Alabama man arrested after stabbing and an attempted rape of a woman in a park earlier this month was granted early release from prison on a prior rape conviction from nearly 2 decades ago, authorities said. Bernard Christopher Abney, 40, is currently charged with a Offender Registration Notification Act violation, according to the Mobile County Sheriff's Office records reviewed by Law and Crime. The defendant is also the prime suspect in a stabbing of a 21-year-old woman who was attacked in Heritage Park during the late afternoon on January 17th, according to a series of press releases and wanted posters issued by the Foley Police Department on Facebook. After releasing several different images alleged to be Abney culled from various surveillance videos, he was arrested Saturday. We are relieved that he's in custody. Why was he out? Okay. Let's be honest. There are a very small section, maybe let's say, I'm going to give it 7%, of people who will just never live in even a zip code resembling an area of do right. When given a choice, they will always pick wrong. They have no, pick the right choice ever. They just don't. There is something broken within them. They are always going to hurt, destroy, be destructive. Can we please keep them away from the public? Can prisons do their one job and stop releasing these people? Well, I was trying to be an optimist. We are relieved he's in custody and appreciate all the hard work that many agencies involved, as well as the media and citizens of our local community, Foley Police Chief Thurston Bullock said in a press release. At around 5:40 last Wednesday, a woman ran into a local business and said she had been attacked. After the initial 911 call, police described her as having suffered life-threatening injuries, including wounds to her left forearm, left torso, and left thigh. The incident is alleged to have occurred along Wilborn Antique Rose Trail, just east of Alabama State Route 59, police said. The trail itself is highly landscaped and lined with hundreds of roses, according to the recreation website, which runs through Heritage Park and downtown Foley near the city's central business district. We learned that the suspect was around the park before the incident. Now, why wasn't he on an ankle monitor? Why aren't we doing constant GPS monitoring of these highly, likely to reoffend offenders? At this point in the investigation, the victim does not appear to be a random target of opportunity. In multiple photos posted by law enforcement, the man eventually identified as Abney appears to be riding a blue bicycle, wearing dark-colored clothes and a beanie. Police highlighted the man's clothes and method of transportation, first referring to him as a person of interest. Detectives have eliminated several individuals in this case and continue to follow up on all leads. Good morning, Tammy F. Thank you, Tammy. You missed him being a bit naughty earlier. He settled down because he's in a snit. So he's having a nap snit. Yes, he has entered his teens. I don't know. Did I say you people? Who knows? Bullock said that Abney turned himself in on Saturday night, according to the Mobile, I want to say Mobile, but it's Mobile-based Fox affiliate WALA. I've been listening to too many English-based crime things overnight, so I'm like, it's his mobile. I'm like, no, it's Mobile. Court documents obtained by the TV station and AL.com reportedly show that Abney was sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to one count of grape in the second degree in 2005. In that earlier case, which occurred in 2003, Abney was alleged to have raped a 16-year-old girl at force multiplier point in a vacant lot after she and her friend refused to give him and another man their phone numbers. Abney was originally charged with first-degree grape and credited with a year's worth of time served when he took a 2005 plea deal. All right, can we stop with the plea deals for these kind of things? Can we just give them the full time? I mean, can we have certain crimes for which there are no plea deals as a society? The defendant was originally slated for release eligibility on July 2nd, 2023, AL.com reported. In 2021, a sentencing reform measure intended to address understaffing and overcrowding expedited early release schedules for certain inmates. This measure allowed Abney to be considered for such release in January 2023. On January 31st, 2023, he was released along with 369 other state prison inmates, according to AL.com. Overall, Abney's release schedule was expedited by some 6 months. Abney will be charged with 1 count of assault in the second degree and 1 count of attempted grape in the first degree, which will probably be pled down to like jaywalking, and he'll get time served with good behavior and I don't know what, like a credit for a Frosty at Wendy's. FFS. Y'all, people are testing the kindness in me and it's only January. This is what we need for this man. I'm telling you. I have no chill with this kind of stuff. Once it's been proven that you've done it once, you have the proclivity, you go to Snake Island. We can't trust you. Look, you can have your own community on Snake Island of all the grapey people. You know, you can all grow grapes. You can make wine. It would be great. You could have your own boxed wine facility. It would be awesome. But we can't have you in society. It'll be segregated by males and females. But we can't. Look, it's not going to happen. Let's see. Still, local officials in Foley took the opportunity to blast the prison reform law while thanking law enforcement. I'm very proud of our police force and the team effort to bring it to a close with an arrest. Foley Mayor Ralph Hemmich said, "These types of crimes are extremely rare in our community, but when they occur, they cause great anxiety. It's no surprise to me that our men and women close this difficult case quickly. I am, however, disappointed in our state system for allowing an early release of a person who has not been rehabilitated into society." Look, I'm a firm believer that certain kind of criminal behavior cannot be rehabilitated. I may be totally wrong about that. That's just my opinion. I am not exceptionally learned. I am holder of no master doctorate degrees or intense learning, but graping and child grossness, I just don't think there's reform possible for that. Again, this is just my opinion. You are always encouraged to have your own opinion and disagree. Just be kind and respectful and, don't take it too seriously. This is the internet. In other news, infamous tattoo-addicted mom stuns family with latest transformation. Please say it's the eyeballs. Please say it's the eyeballs. Although that's scary. You can't make this up. A tattoo-addicted mother of 7 who has earned the title of Britain's most tattooed mum says recently covering her plentiful facial ink with makeup didn't go over well with her youngest children. Melissa Sloans, 46, from Wales, went viral in 2022 for boasting over 800 etchings. She got her first tattoo when she was 20 years old. Her addiction to body art left her struggling to find work and banned from her local pub and her children's school. I mean, are they even pictures now? I mean, they're not. I mean, I could understand if they were beautiful, but okay, you know what? If they make it's not my face. So it came to as a surprise to her family when she slathered foundation over her multicolored visage last month. None of them talked to me that day. The kids were having none of it, Sloan told the Daily Star this week. They said, "Go back to your craziness, Mom." She added, "It was like they were looking at a different person, a stranger." Facebook comments were kinder. Sloan posted a pic of her fresh face to her personal Facebook page late last month and again on January 6th. "Beautiful. Much prefer seeing your tattoos instead," one person commented. Okay, that's cool, but much prefer the real you," another wrote. Sloan said she turned to tattooing to cover emotional scars she sustained from having been raped and abused as a child. Her half-brother, Gavin Sloan, pled guilty to a string of grossness against children and received a 21-year sentence in 2022, local media reported. Sloan once estimated she has at least 100 tattoos on her face, earning her a ban from local tattoo parlors that don't feel comfortable tattooing her further. She's even taken to tattooing herself with a $150 ink gun she purchased from Amazon. That might explain why we don't know. Look, dark humor and avoiding things are my personal maladaptive behaviors for not dealing with emotions. Hers are getting tattoos. We all have our things that we do to deal with things that we don't want to deal with. So, ma'am, as the biggest pot calling the kettle black, and I fully, fully, fully put on my hat of hypocrisy that I cannot get on right now because my wig and my headband won't get on. I put on my hat of hypocrisy, but I do encourage you to find someone that you feel comfortable talking with that can maybe help you feel comfortable without having to ink yourself. Just think about it. But I do have my hat of hypocrisy on, so I may still continue to use dark humor and avoidance. So, but I am working towards finding someone. So you do it and I will do it and we will both be stronger for it. Sloan said 5 of her 7 children have no contact with her because of her incessant inking. Her youngest kids were taken aback when she covered her heart's crucifix and other facial designs. "I've got proper tattoo foundation," Sloan explained to the Daily Star. "I had to put it on thick. I used half a tub." I mean, you can still somewhat see it, but yeah, you would have to use a whole lot. It was like thick cement, really thick. She continued, "It's good to have a change." So I think I was watching a tutorial and you would have to do a red base to cover all of this and then go over with your neutral. It's good to have a change. I get bored of these people telling me, "What's that on your face?" I thought I'd have a change. I put it on Facebook and people said, "Is that you?" She has beautiful hair. It was her kids' reaction that stunned her. When the makeup came off again, they were back to normal. It should have been the other way around, she noted. I mean, look, your your normal is what your normal is. If your kids have always known you as that, then that's what you always know. Uh, in our last story, because of course, Kansas couple charged with collecting a man's retirement while keeping his body in their home for 6 years. Did no one check for anyone ever? Like not a Christmas card, nothing? Overland Park, Kansas. A Kansas couple has been charged with fraudulently collecting more than $215,000 in retirement benefits on behalf of a dead relative while they concealed his body inside their home for 6 years. How much Febreze did this family use? Yipes. Authorities say that Mike Carroll's pacemaker show that he passed away in 2016 at the age of 81, but Overland Park police didn't discover his body until 2022 after his son-in-law, Kirk Ritter, called the police to report his death in the Kansas City suburb. I didn't know that pacemakers record your time of death. This is good to know for reasons. Prosecutors say Lynn Ritter and Kirk Ritter, both 61, continued depositing and spending from Carroll's bank account even when they had his body home that became mummified on a bed in the home that he owned. Okay, again, when a body dies, you lose control of certain body functions, and then you just let it lay on the bed and stay there until it became the mummy? How do you become nose blind to a mummy? How do you do this? And it's your dad, Lynn Ritter. It's your dad. Family members told the Kansas City Star that the Ritters would repeatedly give them excuses about why Carroll could never take a phone call or visit it, while leading them to believe Carroll was still alive. For 6 years, none of y'all just came over uninvited? I mean, the couple is due to appear in federal court to face charges on September 2nd. They didn't respond to a phone call or email message from the newspaper. The court documents do not list a defense attorney representing them. Prosecutors said that the pension and Social Security payments Carroll received over the last 6 years totaled more than $216,067, but bank records from that time showed checks being written from his bank account and cashed by Lynn and Kirk Ritter. He must have been in Casper mode and telling them, like, no, it's okay. Spend my money. Get that sleep number bed. You deserve it. Don't worry, you guys. Just tell them you had a bong hit and you can't remember what you did. Apparently, that is a get out of jail free card now. You're going to have to move jurisdiction to California, but apparently after that you can get away with anything. We're living in clown world. Full on clown world. Full on, just fully clown worlded. I see you got a hanger too. One of the good velvet ones, Mr. Friberto. He's like, I is sleeping. I can't hear you. I is okay with that. So there you go. That is the morning newsy news. I have no idea. January is really setting a high bar with the shenanigans. I have no idea how February is going to top this. Now, I will not be having a morning newsy news tomorrow. I have to take the 3 boys to the dentist and then explain to them that, yes, we do try to floss twice a day, every day, but have you seen the boys and have you seen my youngest, most feral? Sometimes it's hard to just get him to sit still. So that's going to be a blessing and fun. But there will be, no, tomorrow is Thursday. There will be evening newsy news. And in fun and exciting news, I got stuff to make Wendy's Halo. We will be having a Wendy watches her testimony video coming up very soon, and Barbie is streaming, so we will be having my not quite sober Barbie review coming soon. Ugh, I think I'm going to be living at the dentist. So those 2 things are coming up. I have purchased a new glue gun, so everything's coming up mo. So be looking out for those. We will be putting those on, and I will be back with, I will probably be joining the Gypsy Rose stuff, and then it is date night. Look, I don't know how I will be able to handle it without booze, which is why you'll be getting a boozy review. But I have heard that Matchbox 20 songs do appear in the video or in the movie, which is the only reason I will be able to hold on. I think. I hope. Have a good day. Stay safe and warm. It is foggy and rainy in my neck of the woods. So, everyone, stay safe, stay warm. Say one kind thing to yourself, say something kind to someone else. It's a tough world out there, even if you don't take a bong hit. So, have fun, be nice, be kind.